Because let's talk about what official science says. Where do they say civilization began?
Would it be in from what I can tell, it seems to be in the in Babylon, Mesopotamia, that area.
Right, that's what they claim, what they would call the Fertile Crescent. If you were growing up like when I grew up, this is what they taught you. This is where humanity began and culture began and civilization began, was in this Fertile Crescent region, like around the Middle Eastern areas and Africa and things like that. So they claim mankind comes from out of Africa. Well, the secret doctrine tells you something entirely different. And they've made these connections through mainline people, anthropologists and stuff studying these things. They claim that our modern culture actually didn't begin there in the Mesopotamian region, but where did it come from? Well, it came from what we would call the culture of the Mayas. That this was the very first culture, and this was the remnants of Atlantis. They settled in Central America, on both coasts of Central America, and it is said that they had spread out from there to these other regions, starting, of course, in the Mesopotamian region, and that this is where the established cultures came from. And then we had the Chaldeans and the Babylonians and the Egyptian culture, which came from all this same source over here in Mesoamerica. This is what's claimed in the secret doctrine, and that's why they hold this land over here, North America, as being such a pivotal point, as being the original Atlantis. And this is where they claim everything came from. So you had these peoples who settled in the Mesoamerica region and then eventually began to travel across the seas again and settle in some of these other areas and set up little subcultures of their original culture. Now, the anthropologists have placed a lot of the same symbology to these various cultures. And these are the ones who operated within the auspices of these various secret schools who were studying this. And they presented these ideas into mainline science, but it was kind of kept under wraps by these secret schools. Wasn't really acknowledged by the mainstream because they'll still tell you man came from out of Africa and from this Fertile Crescent region. But they won't tell you about this hidden connection to North America. That is, unless you go and you look in their secret teachings.